Okay, it's 4:04 on Sunday, fun day or church day, whichever, way you look at it. So I just saw something that was, it's funny because it'll be, I went to go, I was like, I had all this stuff going in my head. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go start. And um, I go look at the time and it's 4:03. So I'm like, okay, something's out of sync or something more I need to see. So I go um, the TikTok, and a video comes up, and she's talking about the balloon disaster and this horrible stuff of having to see this and seeing people inside panicking and all the horribleness, which creates a lot of empathy. Notice that. A lot of compassion going, where people just, ignored a lot of this stuff. And now it's like, it's draining. It's like horrible. It's hard. I think it always was. Like if you heard someone's house burned down and their kids were killed, like we all felt like this trauma, and fear. Like, oh my God, it's gonna happen to me. Which nothing can happen to you unless it's meant to happen to you, is what I have come to realize. And it doesn't matter if you play with danger, none of it. What is meant to happen is meant to happen. Sometimes you're meant to learn your magical, and sometimes you're meant to learn different lessons, because it's not just like a savior, but it's a focus. It's a keeping your mind straight and stuff. So different things come in at different times. Listen to the birds. I videotaped it this morning because at 3:30 they were just going so wild, and everybody's like, they're going wild at 1:30, 3:30, 2:30. Just the birds don't seem to know what's going on or something either. I guess you can just kind of feel like all their crazy nighttime chatter is as crazy as the world is right now. But so I went and looked. I mean, the chaos, the energetic chaos. It's like that's what the whole world is chirping right now. Um, but so uh, then I saw a couple more videos. I was like, that's not it, that's not it. And then this one came, and I was like, oh, that's it, that's it. And it goes with the other stuff. And then I went off, and it was 4:04, and then I was like, okay, now it's in alignment. Now I'm ready to start. And so that is, well, that's how I read the numbers. That's how I read the signs. Because the signs and signs are all around you. And this is so, man, this energy is so intense. I was so fucking conked out. It's like I'm deep in this other state of consciousness, a dream state or something, like, fuck. And, I don't know, this continuing napping, and, uh, and just sleeping and sleeping. I've been sleeping a lot, which I think is kind of funny. Kind of funny is that back a few years ago, when it was already dragging ass, then I had said, man, I wish I could just Rip Van Winkle through this shit. I might have said Rumpelstiltskin. I don't remember. I might say the wrong name. But I said, but that's what I meant. Rip Van Winkle. Just sleep through this whole thing. And now I feel like I am. I was like, that's weird. Hold on. Also, when I was putting my oil on my face, and this scar, I guess, is going to be a scar now. And I swear to God, it was an animal. It was like, and I think it was like Stella just moving her paw and my face being there, and it just like a tiny, it wasn't like she was trying to hit me in the face or anything, but it was just like, you gotta watch out. Like, I've gotten a black eye before from her tail, her paws, everything is big and it's powerful. It's like an animal, like a big animal. I mean, she's 100, I bet she's 175 right now. Her harness has gotten really tight, so I don't know what's up with that, but she wants to eat all the motherfucking time, nonstop. They've already eaten. So, anyways, but this, and I don't know what it looks like to y'all. The brown spots on my face are also taking over, but this is the thing too, is like they try and tell us like, oh, that's bad. You don't want those brown spots. But to me, anything that happens naturally is naturally supposed to happen, and it's supposed to be that way. Like we should have this marking of being in the sun. I mean, I think when we change our mind, we'll start looking at people like people who are white and ghost-like, that they need to get out in the sun. You need some sunspots. You need to get out there and, form a relationship. And, and I like them. Like, and they're kind of taking it from my face, so it's a good thing. But anyways, I don't know, because sometimes I'll see stuff and it looks like, I feel like it looks like a giant one, but it's kind of like I got freckles. So I'm freckly, really freckly and moly. So of course I'm gonna get more when I go in the sun, and they get bigger and bigger. And but like I said, I like them. I'm not one of those people who had, well, I was embarrassed as a kid that I had a lot of moles, because not everybody else had all these moles. Lots of kids had freckles, I think. I don't know. I don't remember being worried about the freckles, but I had really speckly skin and lots of moles and stuff. So, anyways, I was embarrassed as a kid because I thought I looked weird. Like, I was even concerned about my uh, those things on my stomach. What are they called? Hold on, let me get a drink and think of it. The those things they call birthmarks. And then but it was much later, because I knew there was something up with them. I knew there was something that why I would have them as a little kid. I I knew that there was a reason they were there. I just couldn't figure out what it was. And then, but later when I went with that girl to that psychic, and it started telling, she started telling me all this about my past life, and she was talking about I got stabbed in the stomach, and right, like the scenario that she described is right where my mark was. And then I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's a scar from a past life. It's something that I'm here to work on because it's present. And that's what I try and get across when I'm saying your physical is going to present stuff that you're here to work on. But it's just is how you figure it out is, and everybody's always distracted looking in the wrong direction. Like this war thing. Like, it's so wacky, man. Okay, so that's where, that's what I was thinking about this morning. So I thought it was wacky yesterday. Like, it was millions of, because I had some time. Amy knows, because I'll send her a zillion fucking videos on TikTok. And so I think she can tell when I'm on there. Sometimes I'll go on and I don't see shit. And then other times it's just like video after video after video about like crazy stuff in the sky. I don't know if this is real or not, but I've seen a lot of things of some mothership. And there's a town in, I think in Michigan or something, that was taken over for 2 minutes in the airwaves by the Anunnaki. There's people saying that the Anunnaki have landed, and that, so there's a lot going on. There's more, like when you go into certain communities, like you get more, because there's like the UFO community, there's the love and light community, and boy, the spiritual people who have not healed themselves are going through it. So if you see your people disappearing or, not being present and stuff, it's because they were still putting on a fake face, and they hadn't done their work, and they thought their first awakening was they had accomplished it and that they were superior, and they were going at it the wrong direction, because they were like, just look away, anything you don't like, look away, and cut people out of your life to make you feel bad and stuff. Just they were in the wrong way. And so now they're going to hit into they're going to start stumbling. They're going to start hitting into walls because they've been going the wrong direction. So everybody gets shown, it's just going to, some people are going to feel like, real stupid because they didn't see what they needed to see. But it's always like your ego is blocking. It's where you go to, how full of yourself and how sure you are about what you believe and stuff like that. So, because that is going to be also with, there's going to be a lot. Religion is going to be such a big one. such a big one. And this is going to be interesting to, I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to play out. But, you know what, maybe it's going to be the Anunnaki are going to come, but then that's in a firewall already in their stuff. This big thing is going to come, and these fucking alien devils are going to come, and that's the whatever it is, the trick that they have to get over in order to rapture something. It's like they're gonna. So we'll see. We'll see. You know how many of them really listen to their own soul, and how many of them listen to a storyline. So this is the breakthrough. That's funny because I heard two words at the same time: breakthrough and break free. So same, yeah. It's this. It's the breakdown too. It's the breakdown of it all. And so, and we got to be getting close. I mean, there's some spiritual groups on there melting down and falling apart. There's a lot of, it's funny because it's like the blue people have got a new energetic wave. Like, we told you so. God, you stupid idiots. It's like they're coming in hot. Like, they're very proud of themselves. They're just patting themselves on the back the whole way, thinking they've, they told us all. Now here we go. We're going to all be blown up. And so they're way up in their ego right now. They're just puffed up and thinking that they've figured that, now the MAGAs will finally see how stupid they are. So you have a lot of that stuff going. A lot of them, and don't forget, a lot of them are people who like are into astrology, into Reiki, into a lot of this alternative religion, however you want to look at it. I look at spirituality as just the connection to your soul and living through that connection. Which, everything is based on perspective. And perspective is what gives you identity or reference or gives you the definition. So you have to go through your own perspective and figure out how you see things, how you would explain it, how you would reference it in order to really see. You don't just go, well, this is what they said. So it's like, everybody has to look at the stuff and figure out what they say, not what they said. So anyways, but that's what's, the universe is, sucking everybody towards this state of being, this state of independence and stuff, because that's how you move forward. It's not like, it's weird because it's like unity moves us forward, but it's a unity of independence. It's not a unity because if you are reliant on one another for your self-esteem or your self-identity, then you are in a low vibration or a toxic environment, toxic state of being. So you have to be in a state of authority over self, and that is not a victim role. It is it's living by intention. It's taking responsibility. And so it's a big jump for a lot of people. It's a lot of developmental stages in there that they have to go through to get to different ways, to go from being the victim into being the victor isn't an overnight success. It's a long period of time of doing the work, facing the demons, talking yourself through it, going through the ups and downs, the peaks and the valleys, and not getting stuck in the dark. It's a lot. And so even if whatever is going to happen here coming up is going to be a faster version of like what a lot of people have done. Like, we're not gonna, it's not gonna be where I've had 10 years at least of healing and stuff. These other people, it's not gonna be like, no. I mean, it could end up being for the rest of their life. It's a new lifestyle, it's a new change, it's a new way of living. So it will determine, how you guide yourself through life. But but this hardcore healing is, a huge group, Dark Night of the Soul thing is, it isn't going to last like 10 years. This is going to be like a quick awakening kind of thing. The same thing as when most people had their first awakening. It was this first, because I think a lot of people had it, but not everybody took it the way, and they took it in different directions. And so it's crazy. Some of this mascara, it just stays on. It doesn't come off. It doesn't matter how much oil. It's weird. This is one of those ones that's like $25. But today I'm taking a shower and washing my hair in a little while. So anyways, well, sometimes it doesn't even come off with that. It'll still take a while. And it's just this green, is that Thrive mascara. It's supposed to be great mascara, but that's what I know. It doesn't ever come off. So anyways, okay, so the people. Okay, so the vibration of the people, so the healing of the people. Okay, so so for a lot of people, the first awakening, like something happened, some tragedy happened. You know, lost your job, a relationship, something provoked you to face something. And to me, because I did it different, like, than some people, because there's a lot going, a lot. And some people chose, when the cards are down, to drink, to drug, to, it's just a hiding. So a lot of people try to find ways to hide from their problems, but then other people, it was like the problems were either either you could see that it was pointless to hide from it, that you were always going to have to face it, or you were resilient, or you were heading straight in. And so, I just said this flash of understanding of something. It's weird because there's way more conversation. Like, I'm talking about one thing, but I'm telling you, there's just like, it takes focus, because there's a lot of conversations going. There's a lot of things happening inside my brain, even though I'm trying to stay focused on this. So anyways, that was something that was like, oh, I see. Yeah, that makes so much sense, man. It's so crazy when you start just, I don't know, just start seeing things so different. So, anyways, I gotta get back to where I was. The people, the energy, the vibration. It was someone vibration. It seems like. Oh, okay. With the people, with the healing, with the, oh yeah, with the, oh yeah, okay. So, it's gonna be like a faster version is going to happen on this part, but it's going to be so many people. It's going to create such an energetic storm. That to me is where this, because right now we've already got it going. And Elon's come out and said, like, no, the sun's going to burn us all up. I'm like, I don't know, you know, if that would be the case, then we'll all just go to another realm and we'll live in underground. Like, there are certain things we just don't need to fear. Like, you go wherever the fuck you want to go. So it's like, I don't know what conversations. Maybe he's trying to open up the conversation so people start noticing the inner earth, because scientists just found another ocean under the ocean that they said is way bigger than our ocean. That's what I'm talking about with the different realms and shit. It's not anything like what people keep wanting, this linear, flat, all this stuff. No, it's there's oceans above us, there's oceans below us, there's different worlds, and we are separated by vibration. And there's weak spots in vibration that can create areas that you can go through, but you can't go past your vibration. So these lower vibration can't use a portal to get out and go up into the higher vibration and turn it all into lower vibration, because it's vibration. So their vibration holds them in their vibration. There's a real separation in vibration. It's not something that you can sneak through. You are held. It's like I see it kind of like one of those things that people put in their yard. The what is that called? Invisible fence. And so they bury some line in the thing, and then they hook some on their dog, and then their dog can't go past that because I think it shocks them or something, electrocutes them, so hurts them, so they don't go past. But anyways, it's the same thing. We can't go past it, whatever the case may be. It won't just like hurt us. We just can't go. We're just stuck. And but that's the beautiful thing about this vibration we're in, is that when we die, then we just automatically go back out of this vibration. We're not stuck here. We're just playing here. And so it's there's a whole bunch of things going through my head. Yeah, so we're just here playing. It's not our real world, and which isn't even a real world to begin with. There's some guy now out with his 276 IQ, and he's talking about some simulation or something. I didn't listen to the whole thing because it just interferes with my own stuff. So that, anyways, but you can go listen to his thing if you want to hear. One thing that I am definitely hear all the time is stuff that I have been saying. I hear more confirmation, more people saying it, more people, all the different things. So that, we're going to keep going in this direction. I feel that I keep talking about. And but the vibration, the people, the going, okay, so when this goes down though, they're going to be in a more condensed version. So it's going to be just more of like the awakening part. Like whatever this is going to be the catalyst event that brings them into that same thing that we all had our primary awakening in, the dark night or whatever. And my first part wasn't the dark night. My first part was, I was trying to think of how devastating my relationships were, because that's when I was in my journey, the dark journey, the low vibration journey, to find my way out of the low vibration towards myself and the high vibration, but you have to care about yourself to want to get out of the cesspool of energy. And most people don't know how. They're just trapped and they're distracted. So they don't realize, like, that's not real life. You're just trapped in an energy, and you're in a lot of entanglements. You need to pull yourself free. And so once you realize that and you start going towards the thing, you start putting yourself on your better timeline. But it still is it can be a very dark journey for a lot of people, like through the forest, and they don't know where they're going, and it's stumbling. There's rocks, there's holes, there's all sorts of things. There's things that come out of the wood to get you. So there's a lot that goes on in the journey to face yourself, because it is facing the demons and stuff. And you'll talk to them. You're gonna have to talk to, beings that you think of as being demons. This energy, like, there's lots of times you gotta tell, get the fuck off, get the fuck out of here, leave me alone, stop talking shit, get the fuck out of here. So you gotta start talking back to it, and then you gotta watch out, because you don't want to be acknowledging it and, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings, and then you've given it power. As soon as you go, there's the next level. Just dismiss it. Get the fuck out. However, I'm sure there's other people saying, do this, and, to burn your sage and light a candle and throw some salt and surround your, like, it can be an assortment of things. It depends on what kind of, where that person's experience lies in past lives, what was the available thing that people did. So when you hear people saying, like, do this and do that and do this, it's stuff that they have, it is kind of like, certain ways or certain things that people did. Like, so say during, I keep seeing this period of time, like, of like the plague or the Middle Age. I don't know what we even call it. this period of time where there was like the villagers, and they were poor, and the taxers and the church really wanted to get a hold of them, and so they started doing a lot of things about taxing, and there's a lot of fighting back. The people would fight back with their rakes and hoes and stuff like that. But then they sent out a sickness and called the plague or something, and killed them all. And so during that period of time, so I see, and during different times of like a lot of folklore, like a lot of people have lived through things where, you know, they lived in a forest, and there was, gnomes or whatever out in the forest, and they knew that they had to block their doors with salt, cover their windows with sheets or whatever, different things. So there's different things that people know because it's a part of their experience, and so they're in alignment with it. And then this is like it's the remembering. So a lot of people are, like, do this, do that. So anyways, there's an assortment of things. And to me, just be like, shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here. But you got to recognize, like, oh, that's a real negative tone we have here. And they'll trick you. They'll build you up, but at the same time, they tear somebody else down. You have to recognize it because that's dark energy. It's not a positive energy. Positive energy is positive. So the dark energy is negative and belittling and hateful, and tries to build you up, like, yeah, you can't let somebody do that to you and stuff. They create vindictive and resentment and revenge and stuff. So that's dark energy. And so that's where you talk back to it and tell it, I'm not in, I'm good. So, whatever you do, it's up to you. And so, but this, so, but when I look at my own thing and I'm trying to figure out, like, when did mine start? Because I could recognize through all this healing when I started on my journey. Like, I mean, you start on one at birth. The moment you're birthed into a scenario, into a situation. And you can go either way. Like, we all know, like, some people use their life as an excuse, and some people use it as a sounding board, like, to jump off, like, I can do better. And then some people just, like, use it as an excuse. Well, I was treated bad as a child. Well, I was abused and stuff like that. Well, guess what? 99.9% of the people feel the same way. So you want to go and make it an excuse while the rest of us are trying to clean up our messes, and, that's you playing the victim. Take responsibility. So but that's where everybody's gonna be facing this. They're gonna be seeing it crystal clear as this stuff plays out. And then when I started looking at myself, that is when I started seeing the choices I was making, especially because I was so confused through my younger years of why my relationships weren't working, what was wrong. And I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why, I was such a disappointment to all these people who just wanted me so bad. And it was like, it took a lot to see. And it took a lot to see, that I was the one who wasn't loving myself. I was letting people around me that didn't deserve to be around me, really, But you got to see your own value, your own worth in order to see that. And at the end, it was so toxic. I mean, I think that, well, I don't know how much, I can't say it was his bottom because he could have kept going down. I don't know. We cut ties. But I know for me, it was my bottom. I was at my lowest low with them. That was my, worst time. But I could see where I made choices. And then it had to do, too, with Dickie. And then when Dickie came back and I started seeing things through this other perspective. And it was like, oh my gosh, it just like opened this fucking whole thing to me where I could just see, oh my God, I totally made a choice and went a direction and then kept going lesson after lesson until finally I got to my bottom And then when that fell flat, that is when I had to pick myself up and try and survive it. And and that was like 2015. And so, but at 2009 was my brain injury, and that was like dead ass in my life too. That was like, fuck, man. So many things fell apart in my life at that time. And time did too. Time, numbers, uh, relationships, most of my relationships, and my self esteem, my job, my license, just everything, my home, my plans for the future, everything just fell apart. So I've had a few of these moments of time to create big change in my life. But I would say in 2015, man, I am getting this weird. It's like a heat flash or something. I don't ever get hot flashes. It's not like that. It's different. It's like at the cold too. It's like getting so fucking freezing cold. Like I had to put the heater back on yesterday. I'm just fucking cold as shit, rainy. It's just weird as shit. And then I don't know. Everything's weird. It's all just everything's fucking weird. So just go with the weird. So but it was in 2015 was when all of a sudden I started seeing things like about our world. It wasn't just about me, it was about our world. And I started being like, how can they charge us for land? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Who sold it to them? And then I was like, I'd ask people that, and they would be like, oh, God, you weirdo. Shut up, weirdo. And I was talking a lot about the aliens coming, which like I said, I have no idea what I was saying then. I can't remember at all. I was much more in my brain injury stuff then too. I've done a lot of healing through all of this, and that's what gets my mom. It's like, man, because I've come a long ways, and like I can seem like I'm all together here, but yeah, y'all don't have all of the reference. You don't know where I was and where I am. You only know the past few years where I've been really headstrong towards my healing. But I had already done a lot by the time I got there. And so back in 2015 and 2016, when I was, well, 2015 was the rough, that was my dark night period. That's when my relationship, we split up. Okay, so it was like, it was 2015, but it was right at the end of 2015. So 2016 was when I was in my dark night, I think, on the dates. But I don't know. I could look back and be like, oh, wait, no, I filed for divorce. No, I could be. So, but I'm pretty sure. So then 2016 was the dark night. So I was really depressed, really down for most of it. It was a long ass winter. It was like as soon as this happened to me, it started snowing and it didn't stop. And I was very isolated. But one thing about isolation is the best thing that people don't realize is you don't have anybody reflecting back to you. You get to figure out what you think about something. No interference. And so there's some positive things about it. So you have to, don't, if you find yourself in isolation, don't be down on it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Use that time wisely, man. And it's not a forever thing. Everything is temporary. So use your time to really see yourself without seeing yourself through everybody else. And so so, but when I got over the depressed part, and the depressed part wasn't anything about him. That part was like seeing how low I had gone. Like when you have to face your bottom of like what you'll stand for, what you'll put up with, and shit. It's like, oh, that's where you just will make yourself cringe. This is where because it's all about you. The dark night is about facing yourself. So it's not like, oh, I'm so sad because I lost this person. No. It's like, oh, I'm so sad. Like, why would I ever be with someone like this? What is wrong with me? And then you just get flashes. You just start seeing shit. and I'll just take you through a ride. And you got to go through and experience a lot of things over again and see them and see yourself. And so it's kind of like, I guess, kind of like the the life review. You get to review some shit and see it through different perspective. And that is the facing the ego, getting a handle on yourself. So that's what we're about to witness in a whole lot of people. And that's what the Hopi or whatever call it at the time of mirrors. It might have been the Mayan, whatever, a tribe, prophetic thing about this period of time. They said this is the time of mirrors, the time of reflection, the time of seeing yourself, to see the truth. So it all goes together. So the but when I did, it was 2016. And it was, 8 or 9 months of that. And then it was like more awakening, and going in a direction. And you start just like going in this direction. Like I start going towards like wanting to learn about, uh, I started with the QHHT, but then it took me right into meeting these people who were into Reiki and aliens and all this stuff. And they would get together and meditate and have talks and stuff. And so we started going to that, where I took a few people and they're like, that's a cult. And I'm like, this is not a cult. And it's just a bunch of people who like to get together and talk about this stuff. But the guy, he could have been trying to be more like, everybody listen to me. But I'm very defined in my own stuff. Like I was a little kid, and I could go to church and have them sit there and tell me and tell me and tell me. My mind would tell me something different, and I went with my gut. I went with what I was being told inside, not what I was being told outside. So I've always had that ability. There's not somebody who can take me over and turn me into their. When my kids start saying you're in a cult, I said, I'm not going to be in a cult. I'll lead a cult before I'll be in a cult. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to be in a cult. Like, it could suck me into the biggest one there is when I was a kid. So, like, no. I got a little thing called discernment, which to me is the voices in my head. They tell me something. They tell me something different, and you feel it. You feel it inside. So it's like no questions asked. It's like, oh, okay, I know. So you know what you know. And but a lot of people are cut off from their inner knowing. They don't want to listen. They want to listen to what their neighbor says about their yard or whatever. So you got to connect with what's real and what's important. And so many people are just, as the artificial world is developed into showing them how superficial and artificial it is, they've started realizing, hey, we've been spending time on the wrong thing. It's like we should be working on our soul. Yeah, that's what you should be doing. And so but in that period of time, that little block of time, it's after that's going to be the part that where it's just going to be a new road, a new destination for people. But the rough part, that's the dark night, the facing yourself part. That's the part we're about to hit into that all these people don't see. And while they're puffing up their own egos and patting themselves on the back, looking in the mirror, thinking they're the smartest things in the whole wide world. Well, the mirror is about to change colors. It's about to turn. It's about to look a different way. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like the difference of like now I see Sleeping Beauty, the queen, and she looks at herself and she sees something beautiful, but then looks at herself and sees something decrepit. It's like they look at themselves, patting themselves on the back, being all, up their own ass. And then all of a sudden, they're going to look in the mirror and they're going to see something decrepit and they're going to be like, oh my God. It's going to be hard to face. Like, it's going to be hard, especially as a huge amount of people at one time. And so that's going to be energetically very rough on the earth. It's going to be almost like the depression and the sadness is going to hold people down. And that, I think, is why there's the light workers, or the energy of this other energy, the positive energy. But a lot of the people, didn't do the work. But the positive energy is what is going to be pulling, because there's going to be a lot of good things happening out in the world, because the quantum healers are going to be going in the direction towards a positive timeline by focus, by intention, by living by intention and stuff. So there's going to be a positive one that's going to be going, and then the other ones are going to be like trailing behind, falling and stumbling and stuck. And so that's where the ones who get really stuck are just going to take their out. And then there's going to be a lot that are going to be moving forward. And so it's going to be, but it's going to be very intense energy. And that is going to be what I think is going to keep this the firmament weakening, the solar flash and stuff. But that to me is the creation of the separation of the two energies. It's like they can no longer live together, and so it's going to go in two different ways. And that the positive is going to, if the positive is going to be already going, like it's about to start going. As soon as this thing happens, there's going to be a huge, like, wave of positive for a bunch of people. Like I said, it's almost like the gates are open. Like everybody, like there's certain energies that are behind the gate, waiting for it, waiting for it, waiting for it. Just like the race is about to go, and so, but there's going to be the go. There's going to be the, take off, the whatever, before a race when they shoot the thing, and then the gates open and the horses take off. Or yeah, I guess they also race dogs too, but a horse race. So they're all behind the gate thing, and they're all like all amped up, and then they let the thing go, the sudden thing, and then the gates open at the same time, and they just all take off. That is what is about to happen for a lot of people. It depends on where you've been putting your energy. Depends on how you've been focusing your energy, because what is you've been putting out is going to come back on you. And that's why smugness, ego, and stuff like that, this is going to be like, these people don't know what they're playing with. That's the thing. In a world where they don't understand, they don't know what they're messing with, but it's about to show them. Like, they're about to see. They're about to feel themselves in a way they've never felt themselves before. And like I've said, some people won't be able to handle it. It's going to be intense. That's why this is not the time to start kicking people while they're down and stuff. It's going to be very intense. And there's going to be a lot of people. And so but when the gates open and the energy flips, that sudden thing happens, it's like it opens the gate for this new energy. It's like a giant hole in the dam goes, and this energy moves forward, and all the people who are riding that wave are going to go. And so a real positive is going to take off in it. And like I said, to me, it's like what's going to be pulling us towards the negative, or out of the negative, because there's going to be a lot of negative. But it's going to also be that this group can't just pull all of them. Everybody has to do the work. So it's not like you can just, be on the sinking ship and not have an oar. Everybody's got to have an oar. Everybody's got to be doing the work. And so it's going to be very intense. But there's going to be a lot of good things happening at the same time. Like there'll be like communities popping up. There'll be people who are out there who are, because there's going to be a big step down from this political saga. And I don't know how it's all going to play out, but it's definitely in this midst of playing out. Like yesterday, I saw a video of this lady, and she, I don't know who her name is, and in certain groups, they probably know who she is and follow along and know who she is. I'd never seen her before. But so she popped up and popped off about what's going on. And she said that a lot of people don't understand what Donald's doing is he's taking on the military industrial complex. And it's not just this, it's not just ours, it's a global, like what we've been seeing. She calls out the Z's, the Zion, and all of that. And she said she's been on this since 1971 under Nixon. She said this all started under Nixon. That it was some, as they force certain people into things, and that is during Nam. And I'm sure that there was a lot of bullshit going, and they do manipulate because they're the ones in charge, not the people who are sitting in the White House. They're puppets. And so she said this bullshit started, but that is back where they said that this group of generals and stuff were the ones who started this movement with the letter all this way back then, because there was two different groups. It became two groups. the ones that were all in on the negative greed, we're all expendable. They're bigger sight towards what it was they want and how to make money, and there's the greed and hatefulness. And so then there was the other group who was like, no, this isn't right. The people who had light inside of them, their soul was speaking to them, and they're like, this isn't right. And so but they couldn't fight against it. It was so that's when they started making this plan, and they knew they had to get somebody in the office, and they knew they had to have him run for himself. So this whole thing was put together, where Donald was approached a long time ago because he was willing to pay the money to run for himself, and they couldn't afford it. This is what I've heard, all this stuff. I think it was Charlie Freak talking about all this. I don't remember. But all this stuff I heard, it was like it made total sense. And then you get all these different things that come that put more pieces together. It's like it just... So even you hear things and you think, well, that's wacky, just hold on to the knowledge and see if more comes and brings it all together. But, so anyways, this woman said that this started back in 1971, and she's been fighting it the whole time. So she's probably, knows these people if she's not involved with this movement. And especially like she worked for Nixon. And I think that that's also a part of this, putting these CEOs in as all of a sudden the leaders of our military and shit like that, is to try and show this corporate thing. And then this whole thing about the military and the birthday. And one thing that I just seen too, let me think because it was flashing through there real quick. Oh yeah, because I went and looked up. Because I asked Siri about the Alamo. Because I remember when I was a kid, I grew up in Dallas, so we had a lot of stuff on the Alamo, which is the big problem of why we got shit going on. And then they tell a different story, just like up with the Boston Tea Party or whatever. That's a whole different story that those people are taught in the other country. Our opponent, they're taught something totally different. But so us in Texas, we were taught, I don't even remember. The Alamo was a big battle, and I think they always made like the Mexicans were trying to kill them. They had to say no or whatever, this F troop, whatever they call these people. And so they were called something. I just can't remember what they were called. They weren't called Army. And so they... But really, it was still this force going and taking land and destroying tribes and stuff. So they were out to just conquer the tribes and take the land and stuff. So they pushed a lot of tribes into Mexico, obviously, and created a border or something and killed a bunch of people and stuff. So I don't even remember all the story with the Alamo, all the whole thing. But I remember there being some guy like... who was the guy that always wore the raccoon hat? There was a couple of like famous people. Man, it's really hard to... okay, guys, I can see the image or concept of them, but man, I feel like that things are trying to be erased. Because there was a girl who was a sharpshooter. But they made up Harriet Tubman, so all these people could have been made up. There was a group of frontier people, these frontier people who were over in the wild frontier, in the, what was that lady's name? Like Jane something? And then there was some guy, Doc Holliday. There was some different people that were around. And so when I was a kid, somebody of that group was something to do with the Alamo. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember it being like, how this guy was so important to what happened there in this battle and saving these people. But I don't remember. But there was a specific character. So I went and looked it up, and it was talking about these other two people I've never heard of. So I was like, man, they're changing. I know they're changing the history. I just know they are. Uh, and that is probably why he's trying to get our attention on something, because they're changing things, because they're making a new storyline, because they're still going towards the whatever, their reset or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they still think they have hopes that they're going to capture a lot of people, and they probably will. I don't know. But maybe they'll just start a new bubble and this crazy story or whatever. Because I was watching this movie yesterday too, which was a good murder mystery one. So this girl's walking out in this field, like, and so you can see her walking, and then you see the sky, the big sky behind her, and it's got lines all over it. I was just like, okay, what are they going to say in the future? Because there would be people, what are those lines in the sky? So there's got to be a storyline that's going to be that they're already creating. So they're always just changing shit. It's just the weirdest thing when you just see that in the sky. It's like, just like it's normal. That's just normal. It's just regular. Well, yeah, that was during the time when the sun was killing the people, and we had to go in and spray smoke in order to save the people or something. Who fucking knows? Like they're already. They've got a couple of sicknesses going. Like they're doing everything they can to just fucking wipe us out as fast as they can. And and you know, you have to fucking battle with your health, and you got to battle with your emotions at the same time, and that's got people so overwhelmed because they don't really know how to connect to themselves, how to take care of themselves. Like, I mean, it was effective, them giving people their feeding times, what to eat, when to eat it. And people just like, well, you gotta eat breakfast, this is what you gotta have. And then, well, when you start saying, well, all that shit's bad, but you gotta learn how to take care of yourself, then it's like, well, how do you do that? What are you supposed to do? Like, if people who think like really toxic lifestyles are okay, it's like, no, it's gonna affect you. It's going to affect you in a negative way that you're not going to want to be affected. It's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your relationships, whatever it is. You've got to be putting your energy towards this positive, and that it can be a lot of forget and forgive and letting things go, not holding on to things, not just keeping yourself in anger, not being like, oh, I'm the victim, I'm the victim. And also it's interesting though when you start having certain triggers and stuff like that, where you start seeing like uh, your own uh, your own your self-motivated script. So the thing that you play out in your head. And so when somebody else says something, you start playing a script. This is what creates this reactive nature. And so that's where you got to stop yourself. Don't just react to the set script that goes on. Go in and start listening and paying attention and processing through, because it's the reactive that creates more problems for you. It's the keeps you in this toxic relationships where it's just a battle zone with people. Because the more that you just forgive and forget and blow it off, oh, well, they didn't mean it that way. Who cares what the, because really, who fucking cares? Who cares what, if this person thinks you should be doing things this way, this person thinks you should be doing it that way, this person, whatever, who cares about everybody's judgment or what everybody thinks? We could all sit there and do that on everybody's life. And if somebody's got so much time on their hands, they can do that. They're distracting themselves from their own stuff. And so it's like, they're their own worst enemy, really. So you don't need to, because the crash and burn's about to go. People are about to see their toxic sides of themselves for themselves. So you don't need to go around pointing it out to people all the time. They'll see it for themselves. And then you're going to see that is going to bring up a lot of empathy and compassion, because people are going to be hit so hard with it. People are going to feel so bad about themselves. And that's not what it's for. It's not to keep you trapped in being like you're a piece of shit. No, it's so you can find balance, so you can see yourself, so you know where to find the balance, how to balance yourself. Because when people are in denial of a side of themselves, they're not balanced at all. They're totally leaned into, I'm a better than everybody persona, idea, concept. And then so Anyways, but this is a clarification. This is the truth. This is the truth will set you free. This is the time, and this is when shit's gonna go down. And I mean, it's going. It's like it's already tumbling. It's stumbling. It's going, and something is going to happen that's gonna flip things. And then there's still more on this. I don't know the drama that keeps going on this WW3. That, but keep in mind when they're sitting there saying there's certain people who are getting involved now, who are going to go against these people and all this stuff. It is, it's all for the lesson. It's all so you can listen and learn. It's not because this is really going to happen. And one thing is when there's certain people who have already signed on to the peace treaty, they're not going to go on and do stuff that's going to risk their peace, their gold. So all their people, can you imagine if all the whole world, but all of a sudden Russia went and did this stuff, which knocked them out of the peace treaty, and all their people wouldn't get their stuff? It'd be like, that's no. And don't forget that this BRICS, this isn't something we all just made up or something. No, this is what these people formulated their own name when they went on and signed on the dotted line of peace. Then they said, well, we've signed on, we've signed on. So then it started being Brazil. Let's see what it was, the R. It was the different countries, whatever. Oh, Brazil, Russia. Um, I was India or something. I thought it was the RAND, but that's the last to sign on or something. I'm not sure. But so whoever the I was, and the C, China, and the S, um, who was that S? I don't remember. But it was at the time when they came up with the name, it was like that 5 or 7 that had signed on. This is all a big show. And then the next one signed on, the next one signed on. And so then it started being, I don't know, last year it was like almost everybody was signed on already. So it's already written that it has to be in peace. And so when they're sitting there saying that these people are going to go after us and stuff, even if things are flying, to me, it's a show. It's just a big show. I don't know, because we're going into this time of abundance. So it's not going to be like, well, we gave up on that because we had to fight the war machine. So we're not going to be abundant anymore. We're just going to stay in this war. No, it's not what's going to happen. And that's what you have all these people thinking. But so it's going to be that everything is to show us the connections, to show us who's involved, to see how the machine works. And then, about whatever is going to be going, which that could be our big wake thing, is that some, some things are going to be shot over here and we're going to have some explosions or something, because supposedly that is also already started happening or something, which I don't know. I mean, there's so many different videos, and then you don't know if people are making stuff up. You don't know what's real, what's not real. There's crazy fucking stuff in the sky, though. So, some people have the craziest fucking skies. And then that balloon, to me, it is, like I've said, there's a whole bunch of different atmospheres out there. There's different realities merging. So it's different vibrations, which creates different patterns. And so you are flying through these different things. And when I went on that other day, which is scary because I'm aware of this, and so to me, when we went up, it was turbulent, going the whole way. We finally got into the thing, and then we just went through whatever portal of energy that was open for us to get to the other place. But but there's merging happening, and so I don't know whatever happened with the balloon. It started on fire or something, and then some people started jumping out, and then there's people inside who are videoing the terror that they're experiencing. And the people who jumped out didn't live, but the people who stayed in the burning thing falling, they lived with injuries. I don't know what all their injuries are, but it was very dramatic. I would say, like, I've been saying for a long time, stay out of the sky, but then I went and entered it, so, it's kind of hypocritical. because I still am thinking I'm going to be going back too. And it's just like, but whatever's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen. If you're supposed to be in a plane crash, you're going to be in a plane crash. If you're not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be. You won't be. Nothing can happen accidentally. Nothing can happen that's not supposed to happen. It just can't. And so, anyways, the so when the people all start having this big thing and the big energy starts really creating big waves of energy and stuff, that is going to be when things are really going to change. But this thing that's going to happen can be that they're going to bomb us or something, and then people are going to think like all these people have died or the city's gone. I don't know, because there really can be some things that are going to happen, and it's whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. Whatever's meant to happen, whatever that happens that changes everything is going to happen. And so whatever is going to be is going to be, and we're on the verge of it happening. And when it happens, it's going to be very dramatic. It's going to make a fucking huge change all of a sudden. But then there will be a period of time of this acknowledgement of the soul, of facing themselves and stuff. And then it's going to be very turmoil, traumatic. And it's going to be causing all this energy that creates to me this split where we go in two different ways. And that is when there will be a long period of time. We're going to go towards living spiritually. So it is going to continue. It's not going to be just like this healing. It's going to be kind of more like the split is like who can heal and who can't heal, kind of. But it's already set. It's already, because the people who are even healing, it's dealing with the things that they needed to deal with or whatever. So it's not like anybody can do it wrong. Just like nothing can happen to you that's not meant to happen to you. No, you can't do it wrong. There's nothing you can do wrong. And so when the people are going to get real down on themselves and hate themselves, it's not for that. It's for you to overcome, for you to see yourself and find balance, and to overcome how you look at yourself and start valuing yourself and taking care of yourself and loving yourself, setting into a new lifestyle. Well, all the people who do that are going to create a new world that is built on those kind of states of being, those philosophies, those taking care of themselves and stuff. That world is coming. That is going to be a new world that is going to exist. And so that's just written in the stars, and that's where a whole bunch of people are going to go towards that. But it's the journey that leads them there. And that journey is filled with healing and self-reliance and self-determination and self-love and all of that kind of stuff. So it's going to be uh, very much more centered, very much more uh, yeah, much more deliberate. Yeah, that's weird because people like they live kind of deliberate now, but it's in such a negative way. The deliberate way of living will go in a more positive way, which is going to create more positive energy. It's so weird too because there is so much more of that. Like you say something, it happens right away. Just like my mom, like I never step on her and then step back and stepped on her. I was like, what the I had the same thing happen yesterday. Oh, because I had just said, I haven't had to turn the heat on or even the fan for a while. And then yesterday I'm like, oh my God, as soon as I said it, then I had to turn it on. It was like, so fucking cold. And even shutting the garage door, it wouldn't do any. It was like, it's so cold. And, which I feel like probably today I'm gonna have to put the heater on again. And so it's just it's cold, but there's some places where it's like there's crazy weather. In Oregon, there was a snowstorm, and they've got everything, just everything going. Everything is going all over the place, and that is a part of this whole thing. It's like all these different realities are all having all of these dramas, all of these things go on, and so lots of places are having lots of things, and it's all this big shakeup. And so everything is shaken, and everything is in movement. And the movement is like this breaking free. It's like this shaking the dust off, getting the dark energy off. And so there's a lot of this energy. And that's why so many people who seem oblivious are still being forced to feel. And that's probably why so many people are focused on WW3. It's because, they don't know where else to focus. And then it's going to show you who you are at your core, if you're all puffed up on, yay, we're going to all be killed or something because this guy's a dick and now they're going to be shown. Or if you are whatever, because there's blind following on that side too that's going to get a knock, because we're not meant to follow like that. We're meant to be independent. And so there's going to be a lot of that. There is going to be a lot of people, and this may be the time where a lot of the people following are going to be like, well, I'm not in for this. And so it's just going to be a lot of fracturing of these energies, but the fracture is to pull you into yourself, to keep you out of all of the stuff. You got to find yourself in the chaos. And so but the chaos is going to keep going. But I just know you're not meant to just follow blindly. You're not meant to be down on other people and, this divisive, uh, you know, this group of people is stupid and we're smarter. It's not. That's something of the ego of seeing itself. So that's going to be something that they're going to get a view of from a different perspective. And so, and we're so close. We're so close, especially with all of this warring, and it has so much to do with the financial and how the money structure and stuff. So it's just going to be this big fall of a lot of things at once. And I don't know for sure what he's trying to say. Yeah, because yesterday it was like, yeah, well, we went in and we blew this, and this, and we got this under control because this place isn't going to blow this place. But these people are the bad guys over here, and this place has been taken over. So it's, I don't know, because you have different levels. And so we do have the people saying, hey, we don't want this. But then you have different leadership saying, well, this is what we're doing. So they're trying to expose who's doing what. So I don't know that we really went over there and blew anything, because I don't see Donald going and, um, blowing up families or something. Just like, when all these people thought he's arresting whatever, all of this stuff. They think, he's out there just arresting kids, kidnapping, and all this stuff. It's like, if he's going and taking kids from a school or something, like, it would be to protect them. It's like they are being used for something. Like, that's how I see it. He's trying to clean up a lot of this and expose what's going on, and people are so resistant because they're told he's the bad guy, so they look at everything he does the opposite way. And so I don't know. We're just going to keep being shown and being shown and being shown things. So, and then he said he was going to talk. So I wanted to hear, what is he going to say? Because you keep hoping it's going to be this big thing, but it's just like continuing the storyline. So, they're protecting the real and protecting this from, these bad guys, which can very well be that there's a whole terrorist organization that they're trying to get us to see, because the one that has to do with Barack, and there's different people involved with all this stuff. So there's a lot of exposing the truth. So you just got to watch as things play out, because it's not as it seems. So you can't go with the initial thing where so many people just go with all of the surface level. That just to them is going to show them how surface level they are. They aren't looking deeper into things. They're just staying on the surface, being misled. Their egos driving them. So that whole thing has to fall apart. So, anyways, that's what we're in the midst of. And it's going to be a hard hitting value. It's not going to be like a maybe. That's the thing, is like so many people think, oh no, they'll never see, which it's going to be most people. Like people who are saying they'll never see don't realize, well, you're about to see too. Because there's going to be a wide window opening of seeing. And so the truth will set you free, man. And so the truth is coming, and it's going to come in hot and heavy. But that's the ego wounds. It's going to be where people are going to be like so ashamed of themselves and so guilt ridden. But you got to get yourself over it. You got to learn how to love yourself and just let go of shit and realize what life is about. It's about the experience, the learning, the seeing yourself and stuff. It's not so serious as this, like you can do it wrong and you're going to go to hell and you're a bad person or you're a good person. No, there's none of that. So you got to go work through your emotions to get a handle on yourself. If you are here to go towards that, you'll just keep going towards healing and letting things go. You'll just keep going in that movement towards that and probably be drawn to new communities and stuff, which is going to be more popping up, more places and more things. And it seemed like I saw something about land or something where it's like, maybe they're going to have to teach us some other things to get us to this, like, realizing, like, hey, we deserve fucking free land. What the fuck is going on here? And so there's going to be a lot of that, because we, the people, are the ones that need to say, hey, this is what we want. We don't want that. We want this. It's us directing this energy. And he has said that a whole bunch of times. I'm doing what you guys want. I'm doing what you guys want. And that's where we have to show what it is we want. When we say we don't want them to be deported, then it's like, okay, well, if they're working and being a part of our economy and are part of our up and up kind of way, because otherwise they're taken and used as slaves. They're taken for parts and stuff. This has to stop. They take kids and sell it. Like, it's bad. And so things have to be, the attention has to be drawn to the crimes that are going on and the people who are protecting the crimes, because they're getting their wallets filled by this destruction of human beings. So then it all has to be shown to us. Even if you've gone and down a million rabbit holes and you've seen it, well, still everybody else has to see it. So it's not on your time. So you just have to write it out, and that's the parts where you have to work on yourself, whatever it brings up in you, frustration, anger, like, oh, these stupid people, or whatever your thing is, and you got to witness it, notice it, and get a handle on yourself. And then you got to get peace with time. You got to just let things ride out and play out and let it be shown and let it be seen. So, you got to take the slow journey, slow journey to home. But we are going towards this home, and there will be some things that will, set certain things in motion and set certain things apart. So you won't be just bound by this slow opening this door for people. There will be doors that will begin to open for people who are already past that. So it's not like we have to go through it all again. No, they'll go through it and we'll be doing something else. But those doors have to open for us all. Those doors have to open for the new things to happen. Those doors have to open for these people to see the truth. And that's where we're at. We're at this part where at any moment the doors get open. Anything could happen. And the world is showing us the utter chaos all around us. The birds are out all night singing. The animals are acting crazy. Tons of people are now saying, like, the animals are acting crazy, and the animals are doing weird things where they're sure dark spirits are using the animal. I've been saying that for a fucking long time. Like, the dark energy knows how to, like, if they want me to be disrupted, then they're going to go and disrupt one of the dogs. So they're being used, and the dogs are feeling all of this energy. I've been saying that for a long time too, because I could see the dogs getting emotional and stuff over certain things and stuff. So you can see them. They're also, changing their state of consciousness. They're opening their abilities or minds or something. Like, there's, I don't know, there's a lot of change occurring, a lot of evolution occurring and stuff. And we'll see. I think there's going to be a lot more telepathy with your animals. There's going to be a lot more, I think there's going to be more longevity for them too. Dakota is just, the one dog has just decided we're her family now. So she's out here. She's just down here. Here they all go. Draw them outside. Could be a deer, could be a quail, it could be a cat, it could be anything. So I'm going to probably have to start and talk over their barking. 411. So let me see. Oh, yeah, let's look at the hair thing, which I'm going to go wash it today. the, let's see, remember this is 3 months of this new growth in here. And then this morning I was looking at my tooth. It's kind of dark down here, but I thought it does look pretty dark in there. So I don't know. We'll see. Like, is it going to concave in? Is it going to keep growing out? It isn't being sensitive like it was. That's gotten way better. So whatever that happened, whatever was going on then, I don't know. But I think it's healing and growing. That's what I think. And so we'll see. Because then it should, at some point, there will start being enamel going over the dentin. And I don't even know if there's a third layer in there. Like, I haven't gone in and looked at, this is just from my memory of nursing school. So, so I just know that there's the cushy layer stuff inside. And then the candy center. And then the hard shell on the outside. And but I don't know, like, if it's an M&M or a peanut M&M, what levels of layers that we got going in our teeth. So, anyways, so whatever, as you watch this stuff go on, I swear to God, the best thing to do. There's so much sneezing and coughing, even with the cats. The cats don't even go outside or having sneezing. It's like, and there was somebody who did a video. You okay? There's somebody who did a video, and it was 2:30 in the morning or something, and it was so much stuff in the atmosphere. It looked like it was a blizzard or something, but it was just particles of something. Where they're like, "What the hell is this?" The space dust is making us sick, man. It's what we're breathing in. It's what everybody's breathing. It's what we carry on our clothes, carry in our hair. It's what it's on us. Fucking, and they've got their fucking government bugs too, man. And those little vicious motherfuckers, I swear to God. They'd go up your nose, in your eye. They'd try and find any way to get inside you. Man, there's a lot of fucking... See how everything is just intense, man? What in the hell? Okay. So, let me see. Oh yeah, because this was one thing too, is I've seen the blue side. See, we told you the girl, because this is all about Bashar. So Bashar told us this is going to happen. He said if we put the girl in, then we'll have first, first contact. We put the guy in, we're going to be WW3. And so now people are out there quoting what he said. It was like, when I heard that, I was like, does he really know what's going on? Like, who's he talking to? Like, that's weird that he would say that, because we already know who's going to be first contact, because I think contact has already occurred, and probably occurred back in the other one anyways, in 2016. This has all been a big fucking drama show to wake all these souls up to create this new world. So, my goodness, are you okay? Come here, Archibald. Come here. Oh, buddy, you got something in your little nose. And there's so much emotions and stuff with the dogs too. Well, you can come over here. Poor guy. Just, I don't know what he's doing. It's like this, just like this sneeze, like something stuck in his nose or something. Anyways, I'll tend to that in a minute. Get him a little more dramatic. Yeah, so the, see, what was I going to say? Right after I just said the interference, because it's real, man. Oh, things are happening faster. Like, watch what you say. I think if we all came together and we all said, we want to do this, we'd have it. But everybody's all over the place and nobody's on the same thing. And I mean, we got these big spiritual channeler guys saying, oh no, you put this girl in and everything's going to go good. We're going to have first disclosure, or we're going to have first contact and stuff. And we put the guy in, we're all dead. It's like that's weird. It's weird that he would say that because to me it was the complete flip side of what he was saying. And so now, but you have people who are hanging on that. See, and so but the thing is we're not really going into WW3. This is to try and get people to understand about the war machine and about the money and the people involved and stuff. This is a big exposing. And so he goes in like a fucking freight train, you know. He goes in like a bull in a china shop. And so that's the kind of the energy of him. And so why he's a good for our catalyst for waking up and seeing things. And it's going to really make people see things the opposite because it keeps being the opposite. But it's your own biases that makes you think that he is what he is. It's you who come up with that scenario. So that's what everybody's going to have to face. But anyways, all I can say is that he's not what people are saying. And this is a big show. And so when when that is seen, that's going to be, you know, a part of the awakening thing. But so to me, he is first disclosure, or he's first contact. It's already contact is, oh my God. I mean, I don't even know how they can sit there and say that. Like, are they also showing videos on other times of things in the sky, the orbs and stuff, and then they don't put it together, and then they'll see, if she would have been in, we would have been first contact. We're already in it. We're already in it. And if there's motherships landing, if the Anunnaki are coming over our airwaves or whatever, we're in it. There's, I think, been 3 of these very dramatic, what are they called? The things, the cornfield things, where they go out and put the designs in the cornfield, whatever that's called. I can't think of what it's called right now. Because all of the distraction stuff, it puts my mind, it's really, it's very distracting. So the cornfield things, there was just another one, because there's 3 that I've seen about these big ones, but this one that they just did was another one of these, like, you know, crazy, I think it was like a sun or something with these points. I don't know, whatever, this communication going. It's already going. There's already scientists who have said that there's a sound or a communication coming every 45 minutes. This thing that's coming from out there. We don't know where it's coming from. It's like bullshit if they don't know. They know exactly. Fucking Eisenhower's making deals with these people. First contact happened a long ass time ago. But yeah, which is another weird thing. Like, what? Like, I honestly, I don't know where Bashar came from. I don't know who he talks to. I don't know, you know, if he's been around for 100 years. Like, I don't know. But, you know, I don't know that he was involved in the ufology community or something, because you would know, like, they've been around. Like, first contact already happened. And it's, you know, that just began the basis of their lives. And so, but that created a conflict because of the technology. Like, anyways, it's got us to where we are, and this evolution of mankind, and as this big transference of energy and a transference of our whole life spectrum. Like, but but yeah, he's not going to start the WW3. He's going to expose who wants it, what they want it for, why they do it, who all's done it, all of that. He's going to keep exposing that. She was a part of it. She was a big puppet of it. And so, you know, we've already got the contact is already occurring. Like, we're in it. Like, more things are going to keep happening. There's going to, I don't know, going to be all ships over certain cities all of a sudden, or anything. And it just will keep going and going and going. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but we're going to keep going in the direction of contact and going in the direction of being exposed to the truth and who's involved, and the people who have their biases, who don't see it. They don't see certain things coming because they are only looking through the viewmaster of how they see things. Then they are going to be hit with some strays, some stray bullets are going to be flying, and it's going to micro macro. So everything is going to be just shook up. Everything is going to be going, and people are going to be getting hit with all sorts of different information to get them to have clarity, to be able to see. So that's, to me, what we have going. And the place to deal with it is not being caught up in the drama. It's being in observation, just being able to witness it and watch it play out, and to stay focused on how you're directing your energy, because it's moving fast right now. And the negative is going to come in fast, and the positive's coming in fast. So keep directing your energy towards what it is you want, not what it is you fear, not what it is you don't want, what it is you want. Focus on what it is you want. You want peace, you want love, you want abundancy, you want safety, you want whatever the things. Keep focusing on what does that mean to you. Is safety a home, and how you see yourself having the things you want. Start envisioning how you see yourself having the things you want playing out in your life, and stay focused on that energy, because that's what you're pulling towards. And so put out what it is you want to go towards. Don't be putting out what you don't want to go towards, because that is well, if you do, then you're just going to get back to learning, because you jumped over some developmental steps or something. You got to get back and learn it. So if you're doing it wrong, you're just there to learn it more. So there is no way to do anything wrong. So everything is just, confirmation. Everything is just obstacles of learning. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn something. So don't get caught up in you're not doing it right. You should have been further. You should have done this. That's your own judgment on yourself. And don't blame that on God, the universe, or anything like that. That's you. So take the responsibility for the role that you play in your own existence. So, anyways, while you're doing all that, remember, don't be too hard on yourself, because you're here to learn how to love yourself. You're here to learn how to love everybody, and how to have the day you want. What I'm talking about. Focus your energy on what you want. Focus it where you want to go, not where you want to get away from. So, it's your choice. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. So, talk to you later. Bye.